What's up, guys? What is happening? Today was a very, very, very eventful day. Very eventful. Oh, don't leave, don't leave. You just showed up. You just showed up. Very eventful day today, guys. Very eventful at that. Very, very eventful. Today was actually a really good day. What's up, Jimmy? Very good day. And it could have gone a whole lot worse. Could have gone a whole lot worse. What's up? I'm gonna butcher Chancy Chase, maybe. Not sure how to pronounce that. Yeah, the truck broke down on I-5 today. But we made it home. We made it home, guys. We cobbled it together and we made it home. And I want to give a special thanks out to my buddy Robert McAleer. This guy is a stud, man. He saved my life today. He saved my life today. So the day went really good. The day went really good, except for, so basically what happened is I started the day, I got signed out early, so I got 6 hours on the first ticket, and then I called my buddy up and I said, hey, I got signed out early, I was calling him up to ask him if they charged a minimum amount of hours. He's like, yeah, we normally charge, a 6-hour minimum right now, but after the 4th of July, it bumps up to 8-hour minimum. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then he's like, why, you get signed out? And I'm like, yeah, I got signed out early today. And he's like, oh, well, shoot, we could use an extra truck over here, So I was like, heck yeah, I'm on it, send me the address and I'll be over there ASAP, And got my first load in, no problems, no problems. Went to go grab the second load, and I got loaded. And then I was on my way to the dump site, right? And all of a sudden the truck started losing power. Just started losing power, like, the RPMs were dropping and everything was dropping, the speed was dropping and everything, almost like as if you had like a regen going on, which this truck doesn't do regens because it's an old truck. But you get what I'm saying though, right? And I immediately knew, I'm like, oh, it's got to be a fuel problem. It's got to be a fuel problem, right? And you can tell with these old engines because, there's only 3 things that make them go. Fuel, compression, and spark, right? So I immediately knew it's got to be fuel, and I was thinking, oh, it's that fuel filter that was leaking. We had a fuel filter that was had a small drip on it, and I noticed it the other day, and so I had my grandpa buy one, and I put it in the truck just in case. I'm like, what the heck, I'm just gonna throw it in the truck, I'll put it on tomorrow. That's what I said, because I stayed up till 10:30 last night fixing the ram. The bleeder valve hose rubbed on the cylinder and popped a hole in it, so it started leaking hydraulic fluid out of that, so I put a cap on that, and that was 10:30 last night. And then, so I didn't have time to change the fuel filter, so I said, what the heck, I'll just go one more day with it just dripping a little bit, no big problem at all. And then, so I was heading down the road, and all of a sudden started losing speed, and I'm like, no, not now, not now. the day before the 4th of July. I want to make this a good day, you know. I want to get a few loads in for these guys, you know. And, you know, it just wasn't happening. And so I pulled over. I started diagnosing things, and I was pretty sure it was the fuel filter, right? So I pulled that off, and the fuel level was down probably about this far from the top of it, which apparently when you take them off, they start siphoning the fuel out automatically. Apparently, that's what I was told. But it was down this far, so I'm like, oh, this has got to be it, you know? And so I took my sprayer that I just got, and I had brand new diesel in it. I put it in there in the new filter, right? So I filled the new filter all the way up, screwed it on, started it back up, ran for, you know, I don't know, probably 5-6 seconds, and then it died. And I'm like, no, what is the problem? And so I called my buddy up, this older guy that I met a few days ago when I was hauling concrete. Super smart guy when it comes to Detroit's, right? And he's like, okay, well, it's either two things. You know, it's either you got a hole in one of the lines, or in the tank itself, there's a little tube that goes down and gets cracked, and it could be sucking air from in there, right? And so at this point, I called Robert up, my hero today, and he was like, okay, well, let me just go drop off this equipment and I'll be right over, right? And I'm like, okay, you know, and I'm just thinking like, you know, what are we going to do? You know, I'm going to probably have to call a tow truck, or we're going to have to tow this thing. And then I don't know how we're going to get it dumped out, and this and that. And I'm thinking, and I'm like, you know, and Robert's like, you got any electrical tape? I'm like, yeah, I got electrical tape, you know. Well, actually, I said, no, I don't at first. And then I looked through my bag, and I did have some, but there was only like this much left on the roll, you know what I mean? And so I talked to the diesel guy, right? And he's like, oh, it's got to be a fuel line, right? So I started looking at the fuel lines, and sure enough, one of the fuel lines was just soaking wet with diesel, right? I'm like, oh, it's got to be this one, right? You know, so I put the electrical tape on it, as little as I had, right? And tried starting it up, nothing. You know, it would turn over for a few, and then it would shut off. Turn over for a few, and then shut off. You know? And then Robert showed up. This guy's a stud, man. He shows up with 2 Slurpees, like a Slurpee for him and a Slurpee for me. This guy is the coolest guy. Like, Robert, if you're watching this, or if you ever watch this, I owe you and your wife, we're going out to dinner. I'm going to take you guys out on me. That was so cool, dude. Like, I'm speechless. I'm speechless, dude. Thank you. Thank you. And so anyways, he shows up with 2 Slurpees, you know. Yeah, get out and push. A fully loaded. The truck probably weighed 60,000 pounds with how much dirt they were putting in it. So he shows up with 2 Slurpees, right? And some electrical tape and some other stuff. And we get over here and we're diagnosing. And he's like, yeah. And I was telling him about everything that I did, and he's like, okay, well, let's just put more electrical tape on the hose, and you know, we'll figure it out. And he's like, okay, well, let's take the fuel filter off. Oh wait, actually no, he's like, let's take the other filter off, and you know, just see what kind of, you know, where it's at, and see, you know, all that stuff. But he's like, I don't want to take it off unless we got some way of filling it. And so, luckily, I had an empty water bottle rolling around on the floorboard, and I had some baling wire. So we took that out, right? And let me just show you guys what we made, if I can find it. You guys aren't, yeah, proof. The 2 Slurpees right there. So, this was our MacGyver of the day, right? Baling wire, a water bottle. Thank goodness I didn't use that for a piss bottle, or the Detroit would have been mad at us. So we stuck that down in there, filled it up a few times, and then so we got the white filter off, the second one, and we filled it up, and then we were able to start the engine, right? And then I had it pegged, you know, rev full RPMs, and it went for, I want to say about 30 to 45 seconds, and then it would just die. But it had definitely increased the amount of time that it was running. I'm like, oh, weird, you know? And then we did this like 2 times, or 2 or 3 times. I can't remember how many times we did it. But just to show you the hose, we wrapped it with electrical wire. So this is the hose that was covered in, you know, diesel fuel. And I'm going to show you guys in just a second where it's going and everything. But so I got back out here, and I'm like, man, what's the deal here? So I got back out, and then I noticed the other filter, that one that I hadn't changed, was dripping fuel too. And I'm like, what the heck? So I stuck my head under there, and there was this tiny pinhole, probably like that big, just like that, very small. And fuel was coming out. I'm like, oh, look, this has got to be it. You know, what's this? You know, fuel's coming out of this. Let's, you know. So we took off the filter, dumped, you know, the fuel out of the filter, and we wiped it off really good. And then Robert's like, that's it. That's got to be it, you know. And I'm like, I don't know, man. That small little hole, I don't know. But, you know, and I'm like, okay, you're probably right. That's probably it. And because the line that we put the electrical tape on, we pretty much discovered that that's probably a return line, right? So the fuel that doesn't get burnt gets circulated back into the tank. So, so we got the fuel filter off. We cleaned it up with one of those heavy-duty wipes. We got a little piece of duct tape, probably, you know, probably like that big, right? We put that on there, and the first, it rubbed off because there was still a little bit of diesel on there. So we wiped it off really good. We put another one on there, cut it out, you know, so there was a nice little circle of duct tape. And then we put electrical tape on the bottom. I'm going to show you guys this. Just give me a few seconds to explain it. And then filled it back up, started the truck. It ran. I had it revved for probably like 45 seconds. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let it idle. You know, it seems like it's running. And me and Robert, we sat there for another, I don't know, probably 10 minutes, you know, just talking about everything, you know, how crazy it was. And, you know, it never died. So I went, dumped the load, and finally made it home. So, you know, that was like a crazy ordeal. So I just want to show you guys the little repair. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's the filter right there. And it's got electrical tape on it. If you can see right about there, there's a little bulge. That's where the duct tape is. And that's what got us home right there, guys. That electrical tape. I can't believe it. That little pinhole was causing my headache. That little pinhole. So sometimes you just gotta not make a mountain out of a molehill, you know. And I'm definitely getting the rest of the filters changed out tomorrow, if not by the end of today. You know. Yeah, no, you're right, Ronald. Those cat motors, man, when they get air in the line, they are a pain to get primed. This Detroit, man, dude, as soon as we filled the filters back up, it would start right up. It had no problems. So I just, maybe it's because the fuel lines were all full of fuel. I don't know, but this thing was 10 times easier than a cat motor to get primed. So that was just the level of insanity a million, you know. Just that little pinhole was causing the headache. Anyways, guys. So yeah, I was able to get loaded, and you know, we got home. And then, oh, check this out. And then when we got home, I went to go fill up on fuel, right? And of course my business debit card doesn't work. And I call the bank up, and they're like, oh yeah, no, it's on our end. Somehow they issued you 2 numbers, so they canceled your card. I'm like, what? You know, so now I gotta, and of course they're closed now. It's 6 o'clock, they're closed. And of course tomorrow is the 4th of July, so they're not going to be open tomorrow. So, you know, so.
And your wife saved you.
Yep, so my wife saved me. She was able to get fuel for me, and it was just insanity. All right, questions, guys. Start the questions. I'm ready to answer all the questions you guys have real quick. Oh, don't touch that.
I can if I want.
Yeah, it's just insanity, guys. I can't believe I broke down on the freeway for 3 hours trying to figure this out, diagnose it, but we figured it out, guys. The main thing is, you know, when you're running a business, don't jump to conclusions. Plans for permanent fix? Oh, I'm putting new filters on today or tomorrow. That's the headset I got, the Blue Parrot. Love this thing. Okay, so you guys just blew up my phone with questions. Give me 2 seconds to kind of go back and answer them. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Devin, on that one. A bad day for myself, or then a good one for somebody else. Yep. Yes, we are going to put new filters. Every filter on this thing is getting a new filter that I have not changed to date. It's the Blue Parrot. I think it's the second one. We're getting a new filter. So, is the cement super messy to clean up after dumping? That's an excellent question. Last night, when I had the problem with the valve, we sprayed apple cider vinegar onto the cement, and because of the acidity of the vinegar, it breaks down the cement, so we were able to wash most of it out of the bed. So no problem with that. And when I was hauling dirt today, none of the dirt got stuck in the bed, so you know, I'm happy, super happy. I didn't have to scoop out the box or nothing like that. Essential tools to carry in your cab. You need electrical tape. Electrical tape is a must. Baling wire is a must. You need basically you need a sound mind, a calm head. That's the most important thing, is you can have a calm head. It will allow you to figure out and MacGyver something. Think outside the box. That's what you really need. That's better than any tool you can have, you know, or a buddy. Have the call a friend ready, man. Do enough good deeds and enough good karma that somebody will help you out, because sometimes you just can't figure it out on your own. It just doesn't happen. Other tools I just got normal, like, crescent wrenches, vice grips that the junkie sent me. I got a few other things. The check valve. So basically, I tried to get one. The store, they couldn't figure out what it was, right? So I ended up, I was gonna go to Ace. They closed at 6, which is worthless to me. How can they run a business and be closed at 6? That's the stupidest thing in the world. So we went to Home Depot, we went to Lowe's. They didn't have the parts. But I did buy a cap. Basically, it's just like a plug, right? And so I took the hose off the top of the cylinder, and then I put the cap on it, right? So it hadn't bled any air in for some reason. I don't know why no air was in there. Anyways, or maybe there is, it just didn't affect it because it was so little. I put a cap on where the hose goes. So now I have to take the top of the plate off of the tower to get at the cap. So if I need to bleed it, I can take those 2 bolts off and undo the plug and let the air out and then tighten it back up, which would be a serious pain compared to having a bleeder valve. But, you know, that's just a quick fix for right now, because that's all I can do, because all the stores that, you know, I thought would have the stuff didn't have any of the stuff. Okay. Filters thoroughly. Yes, you got to have good filters. You know, I ended up not getting back to the customer because here's why. I had already worked, 6 hours on the first ticket, and then the second ticket, it was the end of the day by the time I, got back on the road. So it was already the end of the day. So I wasn't able to get back on the road and haul another load. But we finished out the day strong. We got 9 hours on the ticket, so I'm happy. They're happy. I have a muffler. I don't know if Justin Cold Dip, I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I put a muffler on. There's the muffler. Chrome muffler, because it was so loud. So total invested in the truck, I don't know, probably 30,000 maybe total. Flex seal tape. I thought about trying the Drano. I'm gonna try the Drano. I'm gonna try it, definitely. Good thing my box is in aluminum, because you can't do Drano with aluminum. That's not good. It's just a bleeder valve, Bill. It's just like a little knob you turn and it bleeds the air out. But what happened was the hose that goes to it had rubbed on the cylinder when it was going up and down. The guys that installed the cylinder, they didn't install it 100% right, because the hoses were too tight and they had it all twisted up at the top. So it was tighter than it was when I first brought it to them, and so it was rubbing on the cylinder, and it wore a hole through it. Yeah, buy extra parts. Yeah, if I had the money. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Basically, the invoicing and billing timing thing, yeah, it's going great. I use QuickBooks for all my invoicing, and it's super easy. All I do is I just type up the whole invoice, and then I email it to them, and there's a Pay Now button on it. It's pretty nice, and I think they like it, And as far as extra parts, yeah, it is good to have some extra parts in the truck. You just never know what part you're going to need extra, But I had that filter in the truck because I was like, oh, what the heck? If it really starts leaking, then I'll have it in there just in case, and it did. So, I had that filter to replace one of them, but I didn't have enough to replace the second one. But, yeah. Yep, just craziness. Yes, I broke down, J-Bo. The fuel filter had a pinhole in it, and it was sucking air inside. So, Malachi, I bought the truck for $8,000. That's how much I paid for the truck. And then I invested total into the truck before I got it on the road. Total with including the $8,000 was about $30,000. That's my total cost into the truck, basically, until I got it running, and then I kind of stopped counting because then I was already making money. Only one of them is a fresh fuel filter. The other one I hadn't got around to changing the two filters. So You know, one of them, I'm guessing a rock flew up and hit it. I don't know. Luis, I'm going to put filters on tomorrow. I'm changing. I got 3 total fuel filters total. And then I have a coolant filter also that I need to replace. I know they're not negotiable, dude. I get it, but I just hadn't had time. I had bought one, you know, because I was, you know, getting around to it, you know. I figured, you know, what the heck, the fuel filters probably wouldn't be that bad, but they were toast, man. So I'm buying new filters tomorrow, dude. Tomorrow. They will be on. I'll have all new filters because I'm not even going to play around with the other ones. I'm not even going to try and milk them out. But yeah, just it's a nightmare. Jabo, so this is what happened. I don't know if you caught it. So there's one of the new filters. The second one, that's the one we had to fix with duct tape and electrical tape. I don't know if you can see right about there. There's kind of a bulge. Well, that's where the pinhole is. We put duct tape on it, and then we put electrical tape over it. I don't know how routine maintenance works, guys. Like I'm not really a mechanic, you know. I just change it when it gets plugged normally. so it's all a learning curve, guys. It's a learning curve, okay? So don't be too hard on me, you know. But we got it back on the road. No, we're not going kayaking. I'm putting fuel filters on tomorrow. And then, if we get the chance, oh, J-Bo, I put the right oil in it too, and it's burning way less oil, way less. But it's still dripping, but it definitely smokes less. I've only done 1 oil change on this truck, and the main reason is because it was leaking so much oil that I figured, you know, it was burning a gallon a day, basically. Not burning it, but leaking it and burning it. You know, so basically it wasn't worth changing the filter, you know, because I was putting so much oil in it. But yeah, so tomorrow, once I'm done with the filters and greasing everything, then I'm going to yeah, right, dude, J-Bo. Dude, this thing is held together by electrical tape and zip ties. Let me get back to your questions. Sorry about that. Let's see. Every 10,000, especially on an older truck, sometimes you have to change fuel filter sooner if you run fuel low and pick up trash. Yep. So yeah, insane day. Insane. Oh, thank you. You should see it now that I got the stack on it. It looks so cool, I think. Let me just take you guys over and see that thing. One's a primary on injector pump, the other's a secondary fuel water separator. So check this out, dude. There is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 fuel filters on this truck. So there's my high boy. Check out that exhaust. Sweet. Anyways, 4 fuel filters total on this dump truck, guys. So I mean, I figured I changed one, I'd be okay, you know. So, let me just show you. Band-Aid Brian. Hey, you spelled my name wrong, dude. Anyways, so we got those 2 fuel filters. And then, let me show you guys these other 2 fuel filters. Then we got this one right there, which as you can see, it's pretty rusty, so it's probably been on there a while. And then we got one back there, right there. You can see it, it's got the black bottom on it. For, I think that's the fuel water separator one. But yeah, broke down on I-5. My buddy Robert McAleer saved me. He saved my bacon. So, yep, that's pretty much how dump trucking life goes, guys. That's how it goes. Hey, J-Bo, did you ever get that U-join in? I meant to call you back on that. Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing needs to be replaced. I got one sitting on my workbench. I was gonna change it, I just never got around to it, you know what I mean? I got one, I just never got around to it. So basically, I set you guys right there. Yep. Oh, nice, nice. What are you doing for the weekend? What do you guys got? What are your guys' plans for the weekend? Or not weekend, it's not even, it's in the middle of the week. Plans for the 4th of July, that's what I meant. Happy Independence Day, guys, tomorrow, because you probably won't see me. Well, maybe, I might do a video on changing the filters and show you guys what's really in those filters, because, well, you guys ain't gonna want to know. Let me just put it that way, you're not gonna want to know what's in those filters. You know, Ronald, I really want to, but I don't have the money for that anytime soon. Anytime soon. But, yeah. Yeah, no, I bet the fuel economy is going to go way up, and it's going to sound a lot better, smoother, probably. Devin, you're funny, dude. That's how it always is, dude. Get used to it. Yeah. Oh, I should probably show you guys how the bed looks on the inside. I'm going to, dude. I'm going to. Trust me. They are getting changed tomorrow. Here, I'm gonna take you guys up here. I don't know if it's gonna disconnect or anything. I'm just gonna climb up here real quick, so just hang on. I'm not going anywhere. Okay. So in the bed, you can see there's a little bit of dirt in here still from hauling the concrete, but not bad. The floor came pretty clean. So the dirt, I didn't even have to get in here and shovel once, so that's what I'm for. Yep, I am thankful for that. What would make it a better truck? The only thing that would make it better is, yeah, is if my wife was sitting in it with me every day. That would make it better. Okay, I'm gonna hop down. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Dang it. I can't believe this. This day could not get any better. Just broke my headset. Can you believe that? My trusty, faithful headset. This thing's been with me for 2 years. That's okay. Nothing duct tape can't fix. Or electrical tape. We'll get it put back together. There we go. Brand new. Check that out. Look at that. Oh, trust me, electrical tape is going on this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now before I forget. Yeah, Slurpees. Can you believe that? This guy had the audacity to show up with Slurpees. That is just so cool. Oh yeah. So here's the filter I took off, right? And I thought it was leaking right out of there. Basically, there's a small hole right where the dent is. Let's see. Did you see the stuff come out of there? That's pretty looking, huh? Did you see that rust come out of there? That rusty water? Did you see that rusty water come out of there, guys? That's where we're at on filters. So yeah, it's time to change the filters. Guaranteed. Guaranteed time to change the filters. You know, like the junkie always says though, don't fix it until it's broke. You know? So I think we got our money's worth out of those filters. They lasted pretty long. 2 months of running, basically. Where? Yep. I can't believe today was such an insane day. Just insane. Business life is insane. Yeah, no, dude. I fit in all right. I fit in all right. They think I'm crazy though, you know, which I am. I am crazy, so. Yep, so. Oh, another thing I did was I did the vinegar in there to dissolve the concrete. I also bought a new sprayer. Well, my wife bought it for me. Sprayer. This is my little asphalt sprayer. I was gonna I dumped the fuel out of that filter that I just showed you in here because I was gonna put it in the new filter, right? And then I changed my mind. I'm gonna show you guys. Oh, that's not good for the phone. That is not good for the phone. You guys okay? Okay. Trying to show you guys. That came out of the fuel filter. There's bubbles all over the top. It'd be easier to see. There's some water in there. Definitely water in there. You can see it in there a little bit when the bubbles move. Yeah, you guys can see it. And the rust and everything else. He's probably just trolling you, dude. No, I like cat engines. Yeah, you gotta have one of these things. That's one thing that somebody should have told me I should have bought my first day. You know, was one of these sprayers. I probably wouldn't have listened because I didn't have the money, but definitely a must. Can't believe how much water is in here. It's just insanity. All right, guys. A bigger what? Sprayer? I got a bigger sprayer. Just, I'm not gonna carry it in the truck. This one's perfect size. I can spray the whole bed with this, no problems. Yeah. Yeah, the 3406B. That's the one I'm going to replace my engine with. Refill what? This? I have a pump. It's a transfer pump. Or a siphon hose. I don't recommend the siphoning one method, but, you know. That's all you got. That's all you got. I mean... Good thing I'm not an environmentalist. Alright guys, well, I gotta go eat something. I am starving. Today was a long day. No valve. I wouldn't put one of those on because somebody could come by and drain 140 gallons into their can if they wanted to, you know, or if it got bumped or something. Anyways, just leave it. Just leave it. Anyways, all right, guys. I gotta go. It was nice talking with you guys. Thanks for catching up on me. Later, bro. Later, I'll catch up with you later. And thanks for stopping by, guys. Don't forget to pound that like button and pound that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. And I'll catch you guys later. 10-4. Over out.